Mike Crack, Angie Ange, L'Oreal, on Air Jordan, Billy Sorrell, and our good friend who's a relationship expert. And a lot of y'all might need this at this point in the game, because there's one thing when you could be around the person you love and move around. It's another thing when you're just trapped and you got nowhere to go. Some of us don't have attics. Some people don't even have crawl spaces that we can climb into.
Some of us are addicts.
Yeah, and we're all dealing with different things. So, relationship expert Spirit's here to help us out and navigate these troubled times. Good morning, Spirit.
Good morning, Crack. What's the word?
The word is freedom. We need some. we all need freedom.
We're not going to get it for quite a while, so we got to figure out a different way.
Tell them.
Now, Spirit, for the listeners out there who may be going stir crazy like some of us are, right? What do you recommend? To give each other like your own woosah time and space, so like you don't be at each other's throats. Because I know a lot of people are together, they're in love, but maybe after like being stuck together this long without going nowhere, you're more so in like.
Day 3, what's love got to do with it?
So first and foremost, you got to remember it starts and ends with you. And what I mean by that is that you have to make sure that you have yourself together before you engage anybody else. So make sure that you're giving yourself some me time at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, and for a few minutes throughout the day. Sometimes that might look like getting up before everybody else to have a cup of tea, to work out, maybe go for a walk, get back into the house before you try to plug into other folks. The other part of that is that you have to make sure that you and your partner agree. We know we have problems. No relationship is perfect, but let's not try to solve all of our problems during this time of quarantine. Maybe we can table some of those. Maybe we can talk about them once every so often as a business meeting for our relationship. And then number 3, if you realize that you really are having a hard time, now is a better time than any to get with a great therapist. And you can do that using telemental health right from your phone, your computer, wherever you are, either in your home, your car, or while you're walking, getting your workout on.
That's a good idea.
Now, people have been hitting us up. The number is 866-HUSTLE-8. We do got somebody on the line. Good morning.
I'm calling from Memphis, Tennessee. My name is Lewis, and my question is, I work for the sanitation department. I don't pick up garbage. I pick up recycle, and what happens is by me picking up the recycle, I've been picking up a lot of tissue and stuff like that. And the company, they give me stuff to clean the truck up, but I know this truck is have a lot of bacteria and stuff in it. What more can I protect myself with that?
Okay, so you're not worried about bacteria. And let me say, I'm a mental health professional. I'm not an epidemiologist or an MD. But what I will tell you is that you're not worried about bacteria. You're worried about specifically the virus. There's a difference between a virus and a bacteria. But I know that they say that anything in terms of alcohol that's 70% or greater will kill that virus. So what I'm going to suggest to you is that you make sure that you carry around like some 90% alcohol, and that you're wiping yourself down constantly. You're using your gloves, you're using your mask, you're trading out those clothes, and you're not wearing your shoes when you walk back into the house. It's all about safety. It's all about keeping your body not exposed to that virus.
Spirit, I want to ask you about the teletherapy real quick. Can we go back to the teletherapy?
Right.
Because
I might have to get that.
Yeah, because I actually, teletherapy sounds really good, but is that something you could use your health insurance for, or is that something you got to come straight out of pocket if you do that, especially even with whether you're alone or couples?
No, I'm glad that you asked the question. You can absolutely use your insurance for it. You can use your employee assistance benefits for it. As a matter of fact, all of my clients have switched over to telemental health. So I see the same clients that I saw in office. I see them now online. And this is the great thing about insurance, is that right now a lot of insurances are actually waiving their insured folks' co-pays. So it's not costing you anything to get access to mental health care right now.
Wow. That's amazing.
And I think more people should really utilize that, because I think a lot of us are suffering more internally than we could ever possibly imagine. Right. Now, another dynamic to it, people who have big families and whatnot, you have people who do have essential jobs and they are required to leave the house. But it creates a little aura of unease about people leaving the house, because, you still got to go out there and make your money if you have a job that allows you to do so. But at the end of the day, you worry about the people leaving the house. What can you do to, I don't know, calm your nerves personally, so you can deal with those people and, like, I guess approach them the right way, to where you're not like, making them feel like, come on, every time you come in the house, you're bringing germs in or whatnot.
So meditation becomes important, right? And agreements between us. You have to trust that your partner knows what to do. And even though they're the person that's leaving the house, you guys are still a team. So they need you to be on their team. Come up with the agreements that you need in order to feel safe, in order to feel comfortable, and then trust that your partner who is in the house and also outside of the house is doing what they need to do to support the family.
Okay. And it was interesting because we had a question earlier on the show this week with the situation with Oprah, how she had Stedman like pretty much quarantined in the guest house. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, if one person out of the couple was to get it, like, some people were calling in and saying, hey, well, you on your own, you off in the other room. And there was other people that was calling in and saying, I would stay with them through whatever. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, listen, here's the reality is that we all have to do what we have to do in order to make ourselves feel better. Not everybody has the luxury to be able to say, you go to your villa or you go to the second house and I'll go to mine.
That's right.
But if you want to create those kind of spaces in your homes, or if you want to create times in order to just kind of get off by yourself so that you can do what you need to do to clean yourself in a way that gives you peace of mind. At the end of the day, though, it's really about exposure, and we just have to know if we're going in and out of our spaces, how do you clean those spaces? How do you protect your family? Educate yourself in places and spaces where you know that you can trust the information. Go to the CDC website. Find out what's going on. Find out about what products you need to use. Find out which ones are going to be a waste of money. Find out how you protect yourself and your family, and do what you need to do to give yourself the peace of mind. And that all goes back to your mental health and wellness. So now we're right back to working with your therapist.
Well, Spirit, I know you got to roll. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And I love the fact that you're not a talking head. Like, you really know your stuff. Like, for those that don't know, Spirit has a very large, beautiful family. And if anybody is probably like, having to use all their faculties to deal with what's going on, it's you. And thank you so much for lending that expertise to us right here on The Morning Hustle. We appreciate you, love.
Thank you.
Always my pleasure. I love you guys. You sit there.
We are The Morning Hustle.